Thanks for joining. Today I'm going to show you Contracts IQ, Archer's native CLM module built directly inside NetSuite. The problem we solve is simple. Most organizations manage contracts in email threads, shared drives, or expensive standalone CLM tools that never talk to their ERP. The result? Overspend, missed renewals, and zero enforcement at the transaction level. Contracts IQ lives entirely inside NetSuite. No integrations, no third-party tools, no manual lookups. Let me show you what that looks like. Here's the big picture. Contracts IQ does 5 things. 1, you create contracts directly in NetSuite, not in a separate system. 2, AI generates templates and drafts contracts from a simple prompt. 3, full version control. You always know what changed and when. 4, collaboration, redlining, and e-signature without ever leaving NetSuite. 5, it eliminates the need for outside processes, systems, or integrations, and contracts are enforced on the transactions. The system physically prevents overspend. Let me walk you through each of these live. Starting here on the Contract Lifecycle Management dashboard, you can see right immediately on our dashboard, you have the visibility into your total contracts, contracts that are expiring in the next 30 days, anything that is pending signature, comments pending review, and your total portfolio value. You are also able to see AI generated insights based on all of the contracts that you currently have in the system. If you want to refresh to make sure that it is incorporating all of the current contracts, you click Refresh Insights. After the insights are refreshed, it will update the content to be most up to date with the current contracts in your system, and you can expand to see recommendations that it is making on how to handle some of the issues that it sees. For example, it is alerting us to the fact that there is the imminent expiration risk for 44 of the contracts that are in the system that are expiring within the next 30 days. We're also able to see here we have a entire window dedicated to upcoming renewals and expirations at the bottom. We'll now start by creating a template for a project. So we're going to click on Templates, and we will use Smart Create. From here, we will select a contract type. We will be creating a vendor agreement. You can include any special instructions you would like the AI to consider while generating your template. And then we can add in a document for the generator to use as a template for our template. So if you have existing contracts or agreements that you would like it to use to create the template in NetSuite, you can drop those in here. I will use this PDF that I have. And then I will click Generate Template. After the AI has finished running, you'll see that it has produced a draft of a contract template for us. In this screen, you are able to review the template, make any updates directly in the template as you see fit. And if everything looks good, you can go ahead and save the template. From here, you can also add in branding. So for example, if we would like to upload a logo to use, we can select some branding and it will place that on the document for us. You can also insert variables, HTML, or images into your template. If we're satisfied with all the sections of the template, we can go ahead and click Save Template. We will now proceed with creating a contract. So we can click on New Contract, and it will take us to this form here, where we can begin with filling out our basic vendor information. When we put in a vendor name, it will pull up our vendor information that is on the vendor record inside of NetSuite. So it will populate our vendor email, address, and any of that information that is available on the vendor record for us. If you'd like to add an agreement ID, you may do that here. You can also add in department segmentation if that is applicable. Once you've filled out the vendor information, you can click Continue. From here, we will select our contract type. We will scroll all the way down to vendor agreement. If you have a parent contract, you can add that information here. And then you can add in a description of the contract. If you don't have a description to add in, you can click Generate with AI and have AI come up with a description for you. And there we go. AI has come up with our vendor agreement description. We'll go ahead and click Continue. And here's where you enter in the dates that apply to this contract. So the contract start date, we will go with today. End date, we will say that this ends next year. The execution date, we will say it is today. And the end date action. So what happens after the end date of this contract? So you can select if the contract will auto renew, if it will cancel, or if it will expire. You can enter in the cancellation notice here if that is applicable to this contract. And if you did have it set up to renew, you would be able to select your renewal actions here, which is if it auto renews, notice period, or renewal terms. Click Continue. Financials, this is where you enter in the total contract value. Say $10,000. If you were defining a payment schedule on the contract, you would also be able to select your payment frequency here as well. You can also determine which currency you will be utilizing, and this pulls from the currency list inside of NetSuite. Click Continue. You can add any milestones that may need to be included in your contract. I'm going to add a milestone for an initial payment. And this will be $4,000. You can select the start and completion date of that. And you can select the status if that is applicable to this milestone. You can review your contract details here. And then click Create Contract. After the contract is created, we can view the record in NetSuite. We can view the contract record in NetSuite, and this includes all of the details that we have entered, and it puts them all into this record for us that is searchable in NetSuite. We will go back here to our contract lifecycle management, and we will click Generate Document. From here, we will be able to select a template to use to generate our contract document for us. So we can scroll down and we will see here, this is the template that we created earlier. So let's select that and click Next to review summary. So this summarizes everything that we entered in previously for contract details, the term, the value, the initial payment, and the description. And then we will click Generate and click Generate Contract Document. And then AI will go ahead and create that document for us. After the document has generated, you will be able to see it has replicated all of the sections that we had in our template. And we are able to review all of the sections here and make any updates as needed. For any updates that are needed, you can also utilize Ask Archie. This is our AI companion tool that you can use AI to help you in updating the document for you. So I'm going to ask Archie to And there we have it. You can see now that Archie has updated in the preamble where it previously said Delaware to a Pennsylvania corporation. I'm also going to ask Archie, and here we can see it has updated company to Archer Insights in two places. It has it in the preamble here, and then also in section 15 for signatures. Here. After you have made any updates and reviewed the document, you can close Archie and click Save Changes. Now that the changes have been saved, we can see that the version has changed to V2. If we come here to the version history tab, we can click on version 1, and then we can click on version 2, and this will compare the versions so we can see exactly what changed in the document. So we see here in version 1 that we have company, a Delaware corporation, has been changed to Archer Insights, Pennsylvania corporation. You can also see the changes here from company in the signature section to Archer Insights. We'll go back to our document and we can see that the document status is still draft and the approval is still draft. So you are able to send this document to be reviewed by sending a copy. I'm going to send it to myself. And I can allow comment posting to allow whoever I'm sending it to add any comments to the document to be reviewed. And I will send it to me. I will receive an email letting me know that I have had a document shared with me. And when I click the link in the email, we'll be taken to this contract document editor. And in order to access, we need to do the verification. So click send code, and this will trigger another email to be sent to me with a code to verify. Once I receive that code, I can place it here, click verify. For example, if I would like to make a comment for updating, I can take a look and I can highlight, make a comment. It will add it to our list of comments here. And when I'm completed reviewing and commenting on the document, I may submit all of my comments. Now that my comments have been submitted, we're going to go back to our contract lifecycle management dashboard. And we can see here pending in our pending review comments section that we do have one comment to review. So we can click that. And it will take us here to the document where we are able to see the comment left on the document right here. And we also see in the comments tab that we're able to review the same comment. You can accept the comment exactly as it is written, or you can use AI to rephrase the comment. So for example, we're going to click rephrase, and it understands that needs to be updated to just say net 30. Apply the response. After we apply the comment, we can go back to our document. And when we scroll down, we can see that it's been updated to net 30 terms. After we have internally agreed upon the contract and it's ready to be sent to the vendor, we will need to approve the contract first. So I'm going to navigate to the contract tab and I'm going to click open in NetSuite. This takes us back to that contract record in NetSuite. And I'm going to go ahead and click super approve. You are able to configure this approval process to follow whatever internal approval process you would like it to follow. But for demonstration purposes, I'm just going to super approve this document. Now that the contract is approved, we'll switch back to the CLM tab and we'll refresh. You're able to save changes or publish the document. Go ahead and publish. You can see that it is pending vendor signature, it is approved, and we are ready to send via DocuSign. So again, we're going to click send via DocuSign and it'll see the signer, which is going to pull from the company name and my email address as I'm set up on that company. And you can set the expiration for the link for DocuSign. Click send via DocuSign. I will receive an email. And when I click the link in the email, it'll again ask me to verify my access, in which I will prompt it to send me the access code. I can enter in the code that was emailed to me and click verify. Contract will load via DocuSign, and we are able to review the contract. If we do see any changes that we would like to make, we are able to request changes. And here we can submit comments. Go down here. So if we can say, do. And we can continue reviewing the document, make any additional red lines or anything that needs to be updated as the vendor, and click submit one comment. And this will submit any comments made. After a vendor has reviewed the document and made any additional comments, we are able to see if we navigate here back to our contract lifecycle management dashboard, we're able again to see that we have one contract with pending review contract comments. So if we click review, we're again able to see that comment left by the vendor. Scroll down, you see that here's where the comment is. And we can again rephrase. To June 19th and apply the response directly here if we would like to. And we can scroll down, we can see that that update was made. Save review. And that initial DocuSign has now been voided, and we are able to then again review the document, make any additional updates, republish. And the status goes back to pending vendor signature, and we can send again via DocuSign. Contract has been resent. Again, clicking the link I received in my email, verifying my access. In the code that I received via email. DocuSign. And again, the vendor can review. Any additional changes can also be requested at this point, or they can go ahead and click start and they'll be taken to the signature. Heading. Yep. Sign. And finish. Now that the document is signed, we can go back to our CLM and we now see that our contract is signed and active. We will then go over to create a purchase order. We will start by entering in the vendor that we just created a contract for. By selecting the vendor, it will default in information off of the vendor record, and we can also select the contract record. After we select the contract record, we're able to see the remaining amount on the contract, the original contract amount, the expiration date, and the contract start date. We can enter in the item we wish to purchase from the vendor. Select lavender nitrile gloves, quantity, $5,000. You can enter in any additional line information that you would like to track on the purchase order. Save. Now we can see the contract remaining amount, the original amount as well, based on our $5,000 purchase order. Next, I'm going to show you if we over order on our contract. So instead of 1,000, I'm going to update this purchase order to be for 10,000. That is a lot of lavender gloves. Click OK. You can see now our amount is 50,000, and that's putting us $40,000 over our original contract amount. At this point, if I hit save, I will receive this error and it will not let me save the purchase order because the transaction amount is more than the contract amount. And the transaction amount is also more than the available contract amount. So I would need to make any adjustments to the quantity or the amount in order to make sure that I am under the contract remaining amount in order to save the purchase order. And once I've adjusted the purchase order to be within our contract limits, it again will let me save. So to recap what you just saw, a live AI-powered dashboard that flags risks before they become problems and allows you to easily track your contracts in NetSuite. Contracts that are created and AI drafted, visibility into version control and the ability to compare versions of documents to each other, the ability to send contracts for review, red lines, and signatures directly out of NetSuite, and real-time spend enforcement on every PO with no manual lookups ever. I'd love to talk to you about your current contract process and show you how this maps to it. Please reach out with any questions that you may have on our contract lifecycle management tool, Contracts IQ.